Hello and welcome. Chris from Missouri here, bringing you another video about vintage baseball cards. In this video, I'm going to show you some cards, but I'm going to show you some cards as I'm doing some video responses. See, there's 4 channels out there. There might be more, and if there is more, leave a message for me. But there's 4 channels out there that I subscribe to that are asking for video responses right now. One of them is the Detroit Collector. The other one is the Drew Vintage Legacy. The other one is from Jake, Legends Never Die. And the other one is from Pepino Man on 4 collectors, 4 collectors. Now, I'm not going to do one right now. I don't have an idea for Pepino Man on the 4 collectors yet. But there's been some, what he wants us to do is imitate or do a channel that looks like another channel, and he's got a couple of responses back from Mangini right now, which is really cool. Look at those. Theo did one of this really good-looking dude that looked a lot like me, and it was either me or Brad Pitt. I don't know which one he did, and then so give that a look and see. The other 3, the Detroit Collector, he wanted us to show oversized cards. And as a kid, I didn't collect oversized cards, and the reason was it didn't fit well in my collection. They didn't seem like sports cards to me, and also they were hard for me to take care of since they were. I put rubber bands around my cards, put them in a shoebox, put them underneath my bed, and if I had some oversized cards, even the 54 tops took a beating with the rubber bands, and you could cut them. So I didn't collect much as a young kid, but when I got older, I picked up some, but they're still hard for me to keep in good shape. The 2 that I'm going to show you, and I'm going to turn the camera around right now and show you these 2 cards. It's still tough for me to take care of these cards being so big. See, this is Pete Maravich's rookie card, 1970. But look at this case. I think I got that caught in the safe as I was closing the door to it. But anyway, there's one of my oversized cards. And the other oversized card that I want to show is a Luau Sender rookie card, 1969. It's authentic, but it's a really good-looking card. And I really like that card. Now, the Detroit Collector, turn over to his channel. He doesn't have a ton of subscribers yet, but he will be. He will get there. But if you like it, subscribe to his channel and get that number of subscribers up. And so that's what he wanted to do. Now, the next one is the Drew Vintage Legacy. And he wanted us to do, show some cards of a guy that had been with one franchise or one team his whole entire career. And I was just going to show you 2. I was going to show you Johnny Bench and George Brett. They are my 2 favorite players. I grew up a Cincinnati Reds fan. We moved to Missouri. I became a Royals fan. And I was lucky enough for Johnny Bench to play his entire career with Cincinnati, and George Brett staying with the Kansas City Royals. And both of them are true legends. So I'm going to show you a couple cards that I have of them. But as this last night, the information came out that Brooks Robinson passed away. So I'm going to show a couple Brooks Robinson cards. I'm almost completed with the Brooks Robinson run, but I just want to show you a couple cards to try to get through some of these VRs real quick. First card I'm going to show you is the 1960. Oh, how about me turn this camera around so you guys can see it better? The 1960 Brooks Robinson in an SGC 6. Like I say, I'm completing his run. I'm almost finished. He actually was not one of my favorite players. I appreciated how great he was. But I told you I grew up a Cincinnati Reds fan. And if you'd look at highlights of the 1970 World Series, he was a human highlight reel. And I just, he single-handedly beat the Cincinnati Reds that year in the World Series, and he was World Series MVP. He'd won an MVP, and I think he's won 15 or 16 Golden Gloves. What a great player. And the other card I want to show you is the 61 Brooks Robinson. So my two favorite players, the living legends, is the 77 Topps George Brett. He was the second player I finished the run of. And the 1980 George Brett. Love both those cards. And this is a neat one that Drew asked us to do, of somebody that's been with a franchise. All three of these players wore the number 5, which is kind of cool. All three of them, since they did stay with a team forever, have a statue in front of their stadiums. This is my favorite card. This is Johnny Bench, 76 Johnny Bench. There's a song about him staying with the Cincinnati Reds his entire career. Now, Johnny Bench was the face of baseball for a long time. Had his own TV show. He was, his career was during a lot of the variety show airs on TV, and he played the guitar and he sang and just on a ton of stuff. So now the third video response. Now Jake wanted to put it out there that he wanted to know why we thought he was not a member of the Misfits Club. And this is going to be hard for me to tell you, Jake, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna tell you why. They're trying to be too nice to you and not tell you the reason. But I know the reason, and it is you're too short. They got a sign on their clubhouse door of the Misfits clubhouse. They have a T-shirt that they didn't think you would have even been tall enough to have been in the frame. But on the door of the clubhouse they have a little mark on the door like they have at the rides and at Six Flags or Worlds of Fun, different things like that. And it says you have to be this tall to enter. And I don't think you'll be able to get there. I don't even think platform shoes is going to help. So give up on trying to become a misfit. Start your own club and keep out tall people, that kind of thing. So keep trying to get in. Those videos are fun watching you do that. And again, for collectors. Pepino Man wants you to imitate somebody. Do that. Guys, turn over and watch all these channels. I know most of you do anyway that watch my videos, but give it a like and subscribe to them if you haven't. And so, guys, this was a fun VR for me to do. Here's to Brooks Robinson and his career. And remember, guys, it's just a hobby. Collect what you like.